What is going on, guys? My name is Tim Ruswick, and I had a cool little opportunity recently. So I worked with Tony Chan from the Game Dev Loadout podcast, and he was looking to do a giveaway. He wanted to do some sort of contest to promote his podcast, and one of the things that I offered him was I said, okay, I'll do a 1 hour marketing consultation with one of your dudes that wins. And I haven't done a marketing consultation in, God, it's been years since my marketing company, but I figured I would come out of the woodwork for him and help him out. And so a guy named Leo LeBlanc won the contest, and we did a marketing consultation. He was gracious enough to let me record it and share it with you guys. So hopefully there's some stuff in there, some useful nuggets that you can learn and maybe apply to your game. His game looks awesome. It's called Pongslaught. It's coming out in the next year or so. It's a really epic game. Looks really cool, and I wish him the best of luck. And I gave him some tips and pointers on development and marketing and just kind of how to get the game out there. And I hope it helps you guys too. So thank you, Leo, for letting us share it. Let's get to the video. Here you go. All right, man. So why don't we start with where you're at? Why don't you tell me a little bit about where specifically you're at in development or marketing, or what you're struggling with at the moment?
Right now I'm getting close to a working demo. I got a bug right now that's game breaking, so I can't really send anything out, just bothering me. But that's
okay.
I did create like a 30-second clip of an older build, but
yeah, let me see it. Is there anywhere online, like, can I Google the name of your game or anything, see what you're working with?
Yeah, if you search, I can give you a link.
Yeah, just let me kind of get an idea of what you're working on.
I mostly post everything on Twitter.
Okay.
It's a good platform for that.
Just Google your name, find your Twitter? Or...
Yeah, I got a hashtag for the game itself, so...
Okay.
It's always good to set one of those up.
Yes, sir. What is the hashtag?
Pongslaught.
Pong, S-L-O-T?
S-L-A-U-G. Like Onslaught.
Oh,
yeah,
I gotcha. G-H-T, right?
Yeah.
That's a cool name. Wow, look at this art.
Yeah, I want to go for that 80s arcade look.
Dude, you hit it spot on.
Thanks, man.
Oh, that's so colorful. It's so beautiful.
So it's essentially a remake of the first game I made when I was learning programming years ago, which is I just made Pong, and then I started incrementally adding stuff to it to turn it into, like, what if you shot each other? What if you had lasers and rockets?
That's awesome.
So it was intrinsically fun to play, but it was programmer art.
Right.
So years later, I'm like, it was a fun game. I've had a few games where I've been building it, and like, this ain't fun, so we try something else. So yeah,
totally.
This is
awesome. So you are, how long into development are you with this?
It's been on and off, as I had to take earlier in the year an emergency trip back home, and just recently I took a break so I can do a couple game jams.
Okay, cool.
So I'm back on development now.
But I mean, generally, like, give me a year or two.
I started last winter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So what do you think your objectives are with this? Like, what are you trying to do? You want to make money with it? Where do you want to go with it?
Yeah, this is definitely the game where I want to make money with and get my name out there.
Okay.
Not a throwaway project.
Okay, cool. And what platform are you targeting?
It's designed with Android in mind, or mobile in mind.
Okay.
So the only control is just touch input. You drag left or right to move your ship.
Okay.
And everything else is based off timing or that stuff like that.
Okay, the shooting, like I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's all automatic. You shoot as soon as you pick up the gun.
That works. That's a cool little control scheme.
And
what's it made in, if you don't mind me asking?
Godot.
Okay. So I'm not super familiar with the engine, but that's like cross-platform. You could go.
It's like
Android and iOS.
Unity.
Okay, cool. Cool. So, I know this is really hard, especially your first time figuring out. But what's your target for launch? What are you thinking?
I mean, it keeps saying end of 2018, so probably realistically within early 2019, unless I can actually get funds after the demo to help speed up the process, hire out for animation, music, etc.
So you think this is going to take another year?
Well, because it's just me doing everything, so.
Okay, what else? What else? The game looks like it works. What else? What else is missing?
Well, it's focuses on a single-player campaign. I mean, there is multiplayer, but the single player is a great way to introduce you to the concepts, and you can just play on the subway without having to worry about connection to internet or anything else like that.
Okay.
But yeah, you go through these different environments. 10 in total. You just face a few minions and then a boss, and then it goes on to the next environment. And as you go along, things get well, more things are added to the game over time. So easy to learn, difficult to master.
Okay, that makes sense. So what pieces of those still have yet to be built?
Right now, I'm making sure I have all the core power-ups, and then after that, it's just asset development into making all the bosses and stuff like that.
Okay, is the multiplayer already built?
The multiplayer hasn't been programmed yet, no.
Okay. Okay. Honestly, dude, the game looks like obviously I'm just only looking at the GIFs you have on Twitter and stuff. But the game looks pretty complete enough for people to play it.
Oh yeah, no, like I'm on the edge of that demo getting out. It's just if I can ever figure out that bug.
Okay.
Because it's really game breaking. I can't release it when you die as well.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I gotta say, the one thing that I would say is the year or two launch window, that seems a really long time, man. And the longer it takes for you to get this out there, the more risk you're carrying.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, so
that's why I haven't made a big entrance yet, because I'm afraid once I do that, then I really put the clock on. So if I do that like on the first demo, then I can get the I guess the attention. They can have something to play to understand what it is, and then I can help use that to bring in funds and then push the development speed a lot further. That's
another thing that you can do too is you could always release, you could cut some features, you could release a mostly complete game and then iterate after you release it.
Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, a lot of successful games do that. They get to a point where it's playable and then they release it, and then they just do weekly iterations. I do plan. That's likely going to be it. I'm not going to delay the entire game for a year or two. It's most likely going to be public maybe within 6 months, hopefully.
Okay, what's your monetization strategy for it?
First, I want to try out indie funds, and I got a list of these. Basically, indie angel investors. If neither of them work out, then crowdfunding such as Kickstarter or Indiegogo.
You're planning on monetizing it with investors?
The one I was looking at specifically was indiefund.com, which is a group of angel investors for
right.
indies.
So what they do is they'll give you money to help complete development.
Yeah, and then you pay them back.
Right. So what I mean by monetization is like, how do you plan on making money once the game is launched?
A free demo which has probably a third of the levels or features, and then paid upgrade to unlock the rest.
Okay, so just straight up paid upgrade.
There will also be a side currency that's not really a focus, just more of a bonus, like a boost that you can apply to your character.
Okay.
You can.
Is it gonna have microtransactions?
Yeah, you can earn it slowly throughout the game, or you can pay for a pack of them, right?
Okay. One of the things that I've seen, just to let you know, is usually mixing a paid product and microtransactions can be a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Generally, it's a better idea to pick one or the other and just
Okay.
go for it. Especially in your design philosophy, because the games that make the most money, monetizing the microtransactions, they're built around the existence of those transactions, right?
Right.
So like
Mine's
the
more
design
an
and everything.
afterthought, so I guess
Yeah.
I can just leave that.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be like an afterthought, it's probably not gonna work that well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's gonna take a lot of not only just psychological work from the perspective of design, but also like, it's gonna be a lot of technical work too to actually build it out.
Yeah, certainly. And
Okay.
the more I can cut out, the quicker it can launch.
Totally. So then the main monetization method would probably be, so you're going kind of a freemium model, right? Where you can get this base demo-ish version, and then you can upgrade in the game to the paid version.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What are you planning on charging?
$2.99, somewhere around the $3 mark.
Okay. Do you have any marketing plans to get this out there?
I got some plans for what I can do around locally, like go to universities and colleges, put up posters, go to local events, but I don't have money to travel.
Okay.
If I do get money from that, then I definitely look into that.
Have you seen any of my like indie game marketing 101 series videos and stuff like that?
I think I saw one of them, but it was a while back.
Okay. I've got a whole playlist
Okay.
that'll walk you through
'Cause
Facebook, Twitter,
There was
press.
only about, I think, 3 at the time when I was looking at them.
Yeah,
So it was a while back.
Yeah, it's been a while. So now I've got like a whole playlist. There's like 11 or 12 videos that goes through every series of things. I would recommend you take a look at those. That'll give you the basics on how to market on each platform. I will say though that your game looks very visually interesting. It's really interesting. It really catches your eye. It looks really different than anything I've seen. It looks really retro. It looks really like just cool. It's like the neon kind of look.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go for that.
Yeah, so I would play that up. I would keep showing these cool little visual sound bites or video bites of like these GIFs and stuff, because it looks really cool. So you've got that going for you. Are you posting it anywhere else besides Twitter while you develop it?
Not right now, no.
Okay. Have you put any thought into who your actual target market is? Like who would play this game? Who would find it fun?
Yeah, it's mostly the people in their late 20s, 30s now. Those who grew up in the 80s and played a lot of these shoot 'em up kind of games. I also want to touch on the Japanese market because they're really into the shoot 'em up genre as well.
Okay.
But I'm going to need help with that because that's pretty foreign to me. I haven't played a lot of Japanese games.
Yeah, for sure. You may want to validate that assumption too.
Well, yeah, no, I've seen, like, there's definitely an audience there for it. I just need to understand them a bit more before I try to market them.
One of the things that I would do that's really good for that kind of thing,
Yeah?
you can find message boards and forums and stuff online. You'll see some for like, platformers or whatever. Find one that fits your genre. I'm sure there's got to be like people that love Breakout or Pong or that kind of thing. If you Google around, you can find it. And you can make a post there and just say, hey guys, I'm developing my own game, which by default, most people think that's the most awesome thing in the world. And then, show them, ask their feedback, like ask for real feedback, ask for their opinions. And if those are the guys that you're going to target, really listen to what they say, like really listen to the stuff that they have to tell you, because they're going to be honest with you. They don't know you. They're not your friends and family. They're not invested in, being nice or anything.
Personal ties to it.
Exactly. So they're gonna be the most helpful, I think. And also they're probably your target market at this point. So I would talk to them specifically, and you probably find 5 or 10 different forums post a similar thing on all of them. There are fanboys for everything on the internet, so just find those. That's a good way to kind of make sure you're on the right track. But then also you can kind of identify who these people are. What other things are they interested in, right? Like if someone's interested in games like this, what are some of their other interests? What is their average income level? What kind of jobs do they usually have? Like understanding a lot of those details can really come in handy, because when you get to targeting, like when you're actually going to market, then you want to get this in front of those same people, right? So understanding their interests and understanding some of the things that they like can go a long way in finding them on Facebook or Twitter, you know, because if you know what they like, you can find the hashtags they use. If you know what they like, you can find the Facebook groups they join. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No,
so
makes sense.
Okay, so I would definitely try that. You're starting marketing early, which is really good. Like especially if you're ways off release. I know this doesn't have anything to do with marketing, but I would seriously consider de-scoping a little bit. Pulling down some of that additional content that you want to add and maybe save it for updates or even a sequel. Mobile games are hard, man. Mobile games are hard to get attention for.
Yeah.
And you want to make the best game you can, obviously, but you also you don't want to take any unnecessary risks, you know? And I will tell you this, as someone that has finished a game, as someone that took 10 years to finish my first game, you learn a lot in the process, and I would just be extra cautious on the risks that you take and all that. I would just try and honestly push this out as soon as possible. You know, within, like, don't obviously make a shitty game and just push it out, but you know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. Okay, so this is a video. I'm gonna play it real quick. Oh, dude, this looks even cooler in video.
Yeah.
So besides this game-breaking bug right now,
Yeah.
like, what do you have in terms of content? Like, how many levels do you have? Like, what do you got built?
Well, the levels are just background swaps. I have a few background images. I also have a few of the enemies drawn, so it'll just be really art swapping for most of that. I have a handful of the weapons are already in place. Right now I'm just making sure that they work for both the player and the enemy, because how it works is you'll have this spawn in the middle of a power-up, and whoever's ball last touched, how do I word that? Whoever's paddle last touched the ball, when the ball crosses the power-up pickup, gets the power-up.
Okay.
I mean, I'm going to make it clear so it'll fade out when the enemy touched it last and pop back in when you do, so it's pretty clear. So I do have a handful of the powers in there. It's just making sure that everything works smoothly.
Gotcha. Yeah, it looks great, man. And if it sounds like if the content is that easy to produce, it doesn't seem like
the base systems. That's the hard part.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you're that far from actually a playable build.
Oh yeah, and once I get to the demo, then it should pretty rapidly be able to go through iterations, because most of the hard work's been done.
Right. Okay, so how many hours a week do you think you're dedicating to this?
Right now it's about I don't know, 4 to 6 hours a day.
Okay. So where does that year or so come from? Like, why do you think it's going to take you additional year?
It's just a stab in the dark, knowing how difficult it is to predict.
Right. Okay. Makes sense. Uh, I know that this was a marketing consultation, but I would just tell you to de-scope a little bit, try and get it out as quickly as you can. Um, so, did you have a specific? I think I asked this before, but I don't remember the answer. Did you have a specific plan of marketing besides just going to events, and do you have any online marketing plans, like any specific platform or anything?
My plan is outsource. It's
Okay.
I've tried, and it's not so much the ability as amount of time I can dedicate to it.
Okay. What are you planning on outsourcing specifically? What are you planning on doing?
Oh, I want to hire, I guess it would be a community manager, someone who can, who I can give just a build of the game to. They can create some media, maybe some screenshots, GIFs, videos, put it out on Twitter, and just Facebook, whatever platforms where people are. Because right now I am trying to do it even just on Twitter, and it takes a lot of my time just trying to get a working video right so I can share.
Right. So is it just a time factor, or it's hard for you to
Mostly
do?
time, but I'm sure that someone with more experience, or someone who actually uses social media more than I do, just because I use it more as a necessity, they would probably be a lot better at it.
Okay. There are some pros and cons to that that maybe you haven't considered.
I'm curious.
Okay, so if you have the finances, right? If you have a job, or you have the money in the bank or whatever, that can be a good idea because you get someone that knows what they're doing, whereas you might be kind of fumbling around in the dark.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Some of the downsides maybe are, one, you won't learn as much. You won't understand how these things work for your next title, for your next game.
Valid point.
And it really helps to kind of understand how this stuff works, because a lot of times what I've noticed for me is understanding marketing has significantly impacted how I design games, to be honest. Like, the games that I design intentionally to be marketing friendly, to look cool, to not only play good, but to look good when your friend is playing them. Look enticing in that way. So I think that can help. But in addition to, any dollar that you spend is technically another investment dollar that you're risking. And if you look at it from like a return on investment point of view, like you're starting a business, you invented X amount, or you invested X amount of hours, X amount of dollars. You got to get that back somehow, just in order to be profitable. So even if you make $1 on day one, most people think they're profitable, but they're not actually profitable because of the time and the money they put into the project.
So, do you know of any ways how I can, I guess, speed up the process of how long it takes to, cultivate the social media?
Learning the ins and outs of social media. Honestly, dude, I have a chapter in my upcoming book called "Marketing is a Feature," and I wrote a whole blog post about this. But the main idea is that, like, you got to treat marketing like it's a feature of the game, right? So I know a lot of developers, myself included, when I first started. I looked at marketing as something separate, something I didn't want to do, something external from the game. But these days, the internet is a massive place. It's so saturated. It's harder to get people to even see you than it's ever been before.
Yeah, that's why I focus so much on polish.
Yeah, and you've done a great job with that. But I think if you put the same focus on marketing and see the same significance to it that you see with polish, just like it's another feature, I think that would kind of give you the priority shift that you need to maybe get out there and get experience. And then the other thing to actually just learn this stuff is the work, man. It's a lot of work, and I wish I could tell you like the secret, but so much of this stuff is just getting in there and making mistakes. I'm looking at all these different things on Twitter, and some of them have several likes, several retweets. Some of them don't have any at all. And if you go through your Twitter, go through your hashtags and stuff,
Yeah.
And just look at the ones that get the most impact. You can go through your Twitter analytics too. I don't know if you know that, but if you click on your profile, you can go down to analytics, and it'll show you the actual impact that each of your tweets has in all kinds of interesting ways.
Yeah, I've looked at them. I've been trying to understand the flow of it.
Yeah, so it takes a second to understand it all, but once you do...
Best I can gather is there's a great deal of snowball effect that must take place.
Yeah, no, for sure. But also paying attention to which content you push out that gets those reactions and why, right? So I notice I'm looking at a GIF from April 3rd that has the hashtag Pongslaught. It looks great. It's very visually stunning, but it's got no likes and no retweets.
Yeah, that one I think was a matter of timing. I've been trying to look at what's the best time as well.
Yeah, so that could very well be it, right? But then I scroll down and I see one that's got like 5 likes, 7 retweets, 15 likes. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Timing is a big factor. If you go through that Indie Game Marketing Series 101, the Twitter actually give the best times and stuff to post. So you might want to look into that. But also...
Right now I'm using Crowdfire to try to help figure that out.
Yeah,
I'm not sure how
that's
effective it
a
is,
great
but
way
it
to do
seems
it.
to be pretty good.
Another thing is testing is really important. So, and I say this in the video, even though I give actual times where data-wise it's the best time globally. Globally is not the same thing as your audience, right?
Yeah, exactly. You have
So
to consider where your audience is in the world.
Right, and you could do simple tests, like just create 4 GIFs, put them at 4 different times, do the same thing the next day, and you can schedule this stuff out with tools too, right? Like you can literally you could even delete the tweets and just redo them if you really wanted to experiment stuff.
I think I'll try that.
Yeah, and you could just reuse the same content over a little while if you really wanted to test stuff. It won't be too annoying, if it's a couple times a day.
I mean, I could probably definitely try it with some of these ones that didn't get the audience the day before.
Yeah, Twitter also, I will say on Twitter, recycled content is important too, because the way that Twitter works, like Facebook automatically, the stuff that gets the most exposure ends up at the top of the news feed for everybody.
Right.
Twitter doesn't do that. So if someone misses your content, they've missed it. So reposting stuff is actually a lot better on Twitter than it is on Facebook.
Yeah, right now I've been just following a simple system of trying to retweet my posts 12 hours or 10 to 12 hours later.
Cool. Yeah, that works too. But I would test the different times. I would test the different content types. Like obviously, I think GIF and video probably work the best, but test it out. Like see what works.
Yeah, I've been having trouble getting smooth GIFs working or capture on my computer.
What are you using?
Well, I've tried a few different software tools. I think it's just the age of the computer.
Oh, maybe. It could be the frame rate of the GIF too. Sometimes
I've
it'll
been playing
capture
around
it
with that too.
Yeah.
Going through everything. I think my best chance is probably just get a screen recording device and then just extract the video from that.
Yeah, you can do that. And on Twitter and Facebook these days, you can't even really tell the difference between GIFs and video anymore because they played natively. So video is not a bad idea. But also, video to GIF converters can sometimes be a better option rather than capture GIF live.
Using some of those too, but it'll take like a video that was just a bit choppy, and then it'll extremely just have these like 1-2 second long breaks of nothing.
That's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not good at all.
Yeah, the joys of development.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you're already knee deep in all this stuff, testing stuff out.
I'm definitely doing some experimentation, but you gave me some more direction on how I can further experiment.
Yeah, and like I said, I would experiment with not just the type of content, but the time of day, and also the user base. So like go on those forums, check out.
Yeah, I definitely want to check out forums again. It's been a while.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, I did all my learning from forums.
I know, and then we've evolved to social media, and we all forget about forums.
We completely forgot about forums, but
there are plenty of people there. Trust me, the internet is a very big place.
I'm probably gonna go back to forums because I got so sick of Facebook. Because my biggest problem with them is they give me notifications that just don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And they just flood me with them.
and everybody is too. So you gotta remember
exactly,
that.
right?
Like, and the algorithm is honestly horrible for discovery these days.
It really is. I was marketing a lot more and doing the same experimentation on Facebook as well. And it worked out well at the beginning, but it became more and more difficult to get exposure because of that algorithmic snowball effect.
Yeah. And one of the things that I've noticed too with just all the social platforms is usually they're all trying to compete in one space, whatever the new thing is. Right now, it's live video. That's where Twitter and Facebook are trying to compete.
Yeah, I definitely want to put more focus on video than my current screenshots. But it's just been a matter of hardware, really.
Yeah, no, it's always that, and not everybody's great with
But
live stuff.
if they play video natively like they did GIF now, then I can have more reliable things to show.
They do that, but
like
also
I was able to create that 30-second clip I sent you pretty well.
Yeah, it looks good. I also the live stuff, which I know takes a whole different skill set than actually making a video.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been following some live streams, but I'm ADHD and I don't think I can do that.
I will say though, the live video on Facebook, as of right now, this is probably going to change, but as of right now, it automatically notifies like 80% of your pages, like right there, and lets them know that you're live. So I mean, if you're looking for a way to get in front of somebody's face real quick, that's a good little way to do it.
Yeah, that definitely is. I mean, they're probably going to be stupid and change it, but that's pretty good though.
And there are services too, by the way. I forget what they're called, but they're video on demand services where basically you can live stream pre-recorded video. So that can be a way to kind of cheat the system if you want to.
Yeah, no, that's probably something that would be way better for me.
Yeah, and because not everybody's great with live, or not everybody.
Yeah, I gotta take a lot of micro breaks because of the ADHD, or I'll just go on a tangent and just.
Yeah.
All right.
I get you.
So, yeah, gotta definitely. If I do it that way, clip myself down and into these like Philip DeFranco micro clips put together.
I got you. No, so I would look into that too, and just and by the way, like how I found that was just testing stuff out, right? Like.
Yeah.
You just see some stuff gets better stuff. Facebook's pushing stories right now too, Facebook and Instagram both. So if you want to do like some stuff that's only there for 24 hours, that's right at the top of the news feed too.
Okay.
Right there, it shows it on top before any other stuff. Obviously, that's to your friends list, so you may not have people interested in your game on your friends list, and you want to keep that in mind. But do you have a website at all for the game?
Well, right now I kind of have it developed. It's in I was trying out what's that website? Squarespace.
Okay.
And right now they're just kind of holding it on. It's I didn't realize how they worked. They hold it for 14 days and then they'll remove it if you don't upgrade to a plan, which is fine. I get it, but. Right now,
that's stupid.
Really, I know.
That's got to be frustrating as a customer.
Yeah, exactly. So now I got to put $100 down if I want a bloody landing page that way. I mean, I could make a sub page of my own page through Wix, but that's gonna expire soon.
Wow, that's unfortunate. So I would say
there's probably better ways I can make a landing page.
Yeah, I mean, whatever service you use, you can also get a template too. Like if you just search landing page template.
I have no problem with the design aspect. I had a nice layout and all that. And I put the art in, and then I saved and told me, all right, you got 14 days.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it seems like you got art on point with the way your game looks.
I've been really kind of. Well, I do have an art background, so I really.
Well, it shows.
A lot of years in color theory. Does it show?
Yes, it does. It's funny because, like, personally, that's the thing I struggle with the most. I got the Photoshop skill down.
It's a science as much as it's an art.
Figuring out what colors go together is like the.
But really, my game has 5 predominant colors. Everything else is just a shade of it. So
that's insane. Because, I'm looking at an image right now where it's like, it's green, red, blue, purple,
gold.
Like. Yeah. So that would be impossible for me to make all those colors look good together, but you did it flawlessly, which is fantastic.
One of the main tricks that I really used in the game, and it kind of abused in the game, is the more black negative space you have, the more it makes your colors pop, which I kind of stole that idea from Frank Miller and those old comics where they heavy inked and all that. I thought it looked cool as hell.
Dark Knight.
I really kind of took that idea and put it into Pixlar. I'm like, you know what? Black and bold colors really works.
Yeah, it makes it seem almost neon-ish.
Yeah,
like,
it really does. It really does.
That's a cool little tip. Yeah, so like, I think a website would just look kick-ass with this art. You know, like a landing page.
Yeah, let me see if I can actually link out to that Squarespace one I was working on.
Yeah, I would love to see it. And then, you know, if you could get something up like that too, I would start like have an email opt-in or something. You can sign up for like a MailChimp account for free.
Yeah, I started with an email list, but I think I want to move to just maybe Discord server. It was suggested to me because Discord seems to be quite popular. I use it quite a bit.
Yeah, Discord's great.
It's a good way of managing a community.
For a community, sure. I think email is a better form of marketing.
It is, definitely. I'll agree with you there.
It's more powerful, I think, because it's direct to them. And you have a direct line of communication directly to them, like no matter where they're at, whether on Discord or not, whether they're between computers, you know, whatever.
And as all these services come and go, email's always been there, so people...
Yeah, exactly. And two, even people that don't open your emails, they constantly see your name.
I mean, it's right there.
Which is going to come in handy, you know, when you release the game, and they'll be like, oh, I remember that, or I remember that guy, you know, and that goes a long way when they're going to buy it.
At that. Like that Daniel guy from Black Shell Media, he's everywhere.
Yeah, for sure.
I really do wonder how much time he spends on marketing or just getting his name out, because I haven't seen anyone do it better than him right now.
I tweeted him one time. I was like, Daniel, I see your face everywhere.
Yeah, literally.
What's your secret? He didn't respond to me.
You have like 3 of you working around the clock.
I was upset about that. I legitimately wanted his response, but he didn't respond.
Oh, I know. But I mean, he's responded to me a few times, but
no,
that's only because I've been following him a long time now. So.
Yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I mean, that goes a long way, right? Because even though that doesn't actually mean anything, in our heads, we draw this comparison of, oh, we've seen this name around, so they must be credible in some way, you know?
Yeah.
And so it really helps when you're trying to sell a game, or when you're showing your game and someone remembers your name or whatever. It's like an extra barrier just gets removed.
Because you just immediately get through the trust you built in the brain. All right, I can trust.
Yeah, brain probably shouldn't operate that way, but it does. So yeah, that's a good thing. Just being, I've noticed too, since I've done email stuff with some of my content stuff, it helps people. My watch times actually went up, which means, like, you know, they watch my stuff longer, they engage more, they interact more, just because, like, I'm constantly in communication with them every week, so it really helps. And with a game launch like this too, if you can be consistent with it and send out an email once a week or something like that.
Yep.
You know, obviously the okay, no, it's giving me a login. Wait, visit access.
No, they really make it actually difficult to view the trial website.
Let's see, it's giving me like a weird CAPTCHA thing.
I know.
Okay. Okay, cool. I see the site.
I did it on a browser I wasn't logged into.
Okay. Yeah, this looks good, dude.
I just started that this week. That's why it's still up.
This looks fantastic.
Thanks.
The one thing I would say, just as far as like marketing goes, I would have a headline of what the game is, and what they should do, like whether they should email opt-in or whatever. Yeah, like right up top.
I've been mulling over the perfect way, the descriptor line for a while now, because
those are always hard to do.
Elevator pitch, so it keeps evolving. Right now, it's kind of there, but
those you can test too, man.
Yeah, no, I am.
Tweet those out.
It's really just an evolving thing. This has gone through a few iterations now.
Cool. Yeah, so descriptor line and like a
Yeah,
call to
I
action.
don't have the call to action now because it's not really available. I just put the year thing in, or uh, when it's going to come out.
Right, but I would temporarily, the call to action I think would be to
But
like
yeah, a call to action
join Discord
is
or join our
definitely
email.
needed. I mean, you can't really have a landing page without a call to action.
Right, totally. But you know, if you can start building an email list or whatever while you're doing all this, by the time the game comes out, you know, you'll have a decent following that people will be invested in the game.
Yeah.
So I would start doing that as soon as possible too. This is a little more advanced as well, but if you're interested in potentially doing some Facebook advertising,
Right.
One of the things that is really effective with landing pages is you can go into Facebook, the advertising dashboard, and you can create a pixel. There's like a button to create a pixel, and they'll give you this little piece of code that you put on your website, and then basically Facebook will record everybody that goes to your website.
Okay. So
And
it's
so-
up like a beacon or something.
Yeah, pretty much. So not only can you then market to them when the game comes out, so you can market to all those people directly, but Facebook has this really cool thing called lookalike audiences, where you can then take all those people and Facebook can find more people like those people.
Okay. I mean, that
So-
is their business. So
Yeah, I mean, you can imagine how effective
people
that is,
farming is
though.
what they do.
Yeah, these are all people coming to your website because they're legitimately interested, and now Facebook can automatically find people that are similar to them, whether in job or age or, you know, gender or whatever it is.
Yeah, and Facebook's done a pretty good job at that, considering how much information people give away about what they like on
It's-
Facebook. Like,
it's
I like all
insane.
these things.
It is
Alright.
insane to me. Still, as a
Easy for us.
marketer,
Yeah.
I log into Facebook, and it is insane the crazy accuracy of how I can target people.
I mean, my problems with Facebook is as a user, but it's got a lot of tools and trying to market, definitely.
As a marketer, I'm telling you, it's a gold mine. But
It
it's
really is.
these days, it's not so much the tools that you need to know. You got to know who you're targeting. That's the thing.
Yeah, and they seem to do most of the heavy lifting for me. So.
What lookalike audience is a kind of hack. to
I'm the
find
kind
that,
of
right?
person that really, really hates ads, but
You hate what?
hates ads. But that's
Yeah,
only
no.
the intrusive
I'm with you.
nature of them.
Most developers do. I think.
Yeah.
Most tech people.
Yeah. Like I won't put them on my games just because I think screen space is limited. If I do, it'd be in a more tactful way. Like if you want, you can watch a video and get some extra points.
Right.
They're like voluntary, right? That's how I would do it personally. But
Yeah, but banner ads and stuff, I think it breaks the immersion. I agree.
it really does.
I've been releasing games on live stream the last couple of weeks, and someone asked me, why don't you put ads in games? And like literally, I would rather give the games out for free than put some shitty banner ad on there. 'cause
Yeah,
it
no,
just,
me too.
it
I'd rather
kills
just
the-
get my name out for free than
Yeah.
just make everyone hate me for just even if it's a
Totally.
good game, they'll just hate you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just
I
some
rage
of that
quit.
stuff isn't
Rage
worth it.
quit. There you go.
And some of those banner ads, the what you make on them is like literally percentages of pennies.
Yeah, what I actually do is I paid for an ad blocker on my phone because it's rooted. And what I'll do is if there's a paid version of the game, I'll just buy the paid version. I don't because
Yeah.
now it's even at the point where even if you pay for the game, they'll still put bloody ads in.
that would drive me
That's not
crazy.
everyone, but you know some are doing that, and that's why I had to just put money down.
That's
on
what
the
I was
ad
saying
blocker.
about mixing monetization methods. Is like
Yeah,
if you're gonna
exactly.
pick
You can't
one,
put
it makes a
all
lot of
your,
sense to
eggs in one basket.
And not only that, but just from a design perspective, I think it makes
Yeah.
everything cleaner.
It does.
No, but this landing page is a good start. I don't have any dude. You got the art on point. I don't have any visual suggestions. My only suggestions would be just rearranging, adding call to action, adding headline.
Yeah, I just haven't thought of the call to action right now.
Gotcha. I know you said Discord. As a marketing dude, I would still say to build an email list though. And because
alright.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
So with MailChimp or Aweber, you can set up what are called autoresponders. Are you familiar with those?
Yeah, I haven't looked into them.
Okay, so basically they're auto emails that you can send out right when someone subscribes, or like a day after, or 2 days after, or a month after, whatever. So getting their email can kind of act as a base, and then you can set up autoresponders to go out like 2 days later or something that say, hey, you know, yeah, follow us here, follow up with Discord, fill out the survey, whatever you need from them. Right? Like you can have the email list do all that work for you.
Okay.
So
you mentioned MailChimp, and what's the other one?
MailChimp is free, but I like Aweber, AWEBER.com. Another really good one that it's a little complicated to learn. Let me see if I can remember. Dude, I'll probably have to send you a link. But there's a bunch of them, like Constant Contact. It doesn't really matter what you use. Just
I asked you because you have been using these, so.
Yeah. Well, I could go an hour.
I would go
which
blind,
ones,
so,
pros and cons to pros and cons to using them. But I would just pick which one you like better. There's really no advantage one or the other, as long as they have the autoresponders. But what I was gonna say is, like, whatever you want them to do, right? Follow you on Twitter, join your Discord, whatever.
Right.
It can be really confusing to put all that on your landing page. And then usually
landing
one
page
person
should just be one call to action.
So if you send them the email, then the email can send them all those other places. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
And it can be cleaner and more effective that way. You can set up a funnel doing that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, and then also too, the Facebook also allows you to upload email addresses and target users that way too. So that's always nice, because then you can actually build an email list and then run ads directly to those people that signed up, which is kind of cool because they're already interested in what you have, right? So
okay. Can you send me more info on that specifically?
On Facebook ads?
Yeah.
I can send you some stuff. I have the video will walk you through the basics of it in that list.
I'll check that out.
Yeah, totally. And then I'll send you a landing page and video and I think I have an advertising video that can help out. But yeah, so the page looks good. The main thing I would do is I would just develop your strategy for the 3 to 6 months leading up to launch. So I know you're still kind of, that's way in the future for you.
Yeah, I'm still writing down everything that I learned along the way.
Yeah, but I would look at this like it's a 3 to 6 month attack plan that you need to put into action ahead of time. Yeah. You need to 6 months out you need to do this. Good, yeah. So I would just, as long as you're thinking that way, you could do it. Look at everything you do as a giant experiment and pay attention to what works. So like, like we've already looked at your Twitter. Like there's some stuff that just works way better for whatever reason, whether it's the content or the timing. And also, the experiment goes beyond Twitter too. The stuff that works really well on Twitter might work well on Reddit in our gaming. It might work well on your landing page to showcase, because that's the stuff that people responded to. So just keep that in mind, like universally, like it's not just about testing per platform, but testing globally, and using the stuff that works the best as kind of the forefront of what you're doing. Same things for like your description. Like I was saying, you can try and tweet out different descriptions. Some of them is going to get more reactions than others, and
I've done that a couple times. They didn't get as much response, so it's gone through a few mutations. But
another thing that you can do.
I'm still not fully sold, so as soon as I find one that really saves things, But I'm always open for suggestions if anyone's got an idea for it.
Yeah, totally. And the email list can help you with that too. You can set up, like, go to surveymonkey.com or something, set up a survey, and you could just have that in an auto response.
Yeah, I've noticed surveys becoming more popular, and I've noticed people feel more compelled to interact when there is a survey, because they're asked their opinion, and people love giving their opinions.
Totally, they love giving their opinion, but also, like, a lot of people really like the idea, especially non-developers. They really like the idea of being included in a project and having some say in, like, what this thing becomes. It's almost like a point of pride for them.
Yeah. If they just give a small suggestion and the dev puts it in, they just get this great lot of pride.
Exactly. They should. And I have a whole strategy. I call it the kind of the spotlight strategy. Like you want to spotlight people and show them that you're listening, and actually pull out their pieces. You know, if someone says something great about you, post it on Twitter, link them. You know, kind of spotlight them a little bit, and they'll feel awesome about it, and you get some content for your stuff, and then also you probably gained a fan for life right there. You know.
Yeah, I'll keep that in mind.
So yeah, and I would also, you know, I would get. You're talking about going to universities and stuff, and I didn't mention this at first, but
yeah,
in-person feedback, watching people play the game can be really, really important. So I would, if you're planning on going to those places, I would have people play the game in front of you.
I
Watch
want
what
to do
they
that
do.
with demos, and just some quick way to download, whether it's QR code or whatever.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to play it there and get some actual feedback, you know,
Totally.
actual people.
And I would pay attention to what they do in the game, not just what they say.
I've been actually watching like how they play and like just noticing the pitfalls of where people aren't quite getting it. So I've actually iterated a few times on just a few mechanics on simplifying how they understand it, and so they can get it right away.
That's awesome. That's great. You're already ahead of me on that. So you're doing a great job. I think we talked about a lot of specific stuff. Was there any specific questions you had for me on how to do stuff or what direction you should take?
I mean, I guess I do have a bit of imposter syndrome that, you know, as I encroach on more territory in, I guess, my career, because I haven't launched a big commercial game.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely, I feel a bit lost, but I feel like, I don't know, I'm acquiring the skills to try to help anchor myself, and I can only hope that I have enough luck, I guess.
You kind of feel like who am I to make a game and show people?
Not that, like I know, like I have confidence in my skills. I always get, or I've gotten great feedback on the game, but you know, because this is relatively new ground, it's, you know, I guess scary in a sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, game
Especially
developers are
marketing,
pioneers
'cause
in
I've
a
never
way.
been big on it.
That's why, you know, that's
I know
why I
it's
say
the
just
problem
do
for
it.
every indie, too.
It is,
They
dude.
always
and-
say marketing.
Yeah, marketing is one of the biggest problems ever, but not just for indies, by the way.
Yeah.
Businesses in general.
Yeah, and writers and most small businesses.
How do I get people to give me money is like the number one question.
Yeah,
you know,
really-
for every
really
business,
is.
every developer, that's the hardest problem by far.
Googled
Because
that
once,
a few times in a few different ways.
yeah, for sure. So, I mean, you're not alone with that, man. I post about that stuff all the time because it's one of the biggest struggles.
Yeah. I mean,
you know-
some people have money, and that's bloody great, but you know, not everyone is dealt the same cards. So.
Well, you know what, too, man. It's not even about having money. I think once you can generate money
Yeah,
from
if
doing
you have
something
the
you
skills,
love.
then you'll generate the money for it.
Not only that, but I think the point at which you can generate the money means that it's sustainable, right? That means you can do it for longer periods of time. If you're constantly putting time and money and effort into something and it doesn't generate money, you're just operating at a loss nonstop.
Yeah.
You're losing something all the time. The point you get to where you generate money is the point at which it's sustainable. That's the point at which you can grow. You can hire other people. You can build something bigger than yourself.
That's
So-
the idea.
Yeah, I mean, even people that have money understand that, and so that's why the goal is usually to generate money, because that not just because they're greedy, but because
Oh yeah, no.
so they want to create something sustainable. So that should always be the goal. And dude, you've got a great product here. It looks fantastic.
Thank you.
You just got a lot of little details you got to figure out.
Yeah.
Again, I would reiterate on the scale and scope, man. I know it's not marketing
I'm
related,
trying
but
to keep scope creep away.
yeah, I mean, because like working that long on a mobile game can be very high risk.
I mean, that's why it's kind of grown. Like, okay, I'm gonna put it on Steam and PC as well, because why not? I mean, there's no
Yeah.
reason why it can't launch to that platform.
Totally. Does Godot export to HTML5? Do you know?
They will be in the next launch, which
Okay,
they're
that's cool.
just doing testing for right now.
Once you do that, you can go everywhere too.
Oh
Like,
no, exactly, because they'll have. I mean, they're actually adding a lot of support in the next update. Audio engine, the visuals, they're doing a mass overhaul, so it'll be quite fun being able to add more features and possibly port to more devices.
Yeah, I got you. Too, dude, like, I know a lot of developers go through ups and downs and struggles, and it's not always easy, especially as a solo developer, to work on the stuff every day, but also to just, like, keep going when shit gets hard.
Yeah, it does.
There are plenty of other developers out there. I would find some communities, some, like, support groups to kind of, find other people in your situation and just keep going, because I know what it's like to build these long projects, man. It
Yeah,
can be
that's
very
why I use
lonely,
Discord,
very
so I
hard.
can still have some grounding in a community.
Totally.
Because I was using Facebook for that, but they've kind of turned into something different. So.
Yeah, I'm finding Discord's really great for that kind of thing. Like,
It really is.
the Game Dev Underground Discord is really awesome.
Yeah, I've even been on one of them so long I'm at a mod now.
Awesome. So you're
see
you're
it back
active.
actually.
Yeah, dude. So, like, you're on the right track. It seems like you kind of know about a little bit of everything that I mentioned. So you're doing your research. You're getting out there. It's just a matter of executing,
Yeah.
getting stuff done. Let me know if you keep me updated on this, man. Like, I'll follow you on Twitter. I want to see how this project goes. And if you ever need anything or anything like that, let me know, and I'll help out as best I can.
Yeah, I'll keep you as a contact.
I appreciate it,
And
man.
once I get that email list thing going, you'll be the first.
Yeah, dude. If you wanna show me your page again, after you got all that set up, I'd be happy to take a look at it too and give you some feedback on it.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Sounds good. Any other questions for me? Anything else you want to ask?
Not off the top of my head. If I have any later, I can contact you, right?
Yeah, just shoot me a message or email, whatever.
Sure.
It's no problem. All right, dude. Nice getting to talk to you. Nice to learn about your game, dude. It's awesome. I wish you the best of luck.
Thanks for all your help.
No problem. Talk to you later, man.
All right, cheers.
See ya.